You've been hunting for a grill that won't make you second-guess every fire-up, something that slides into the weekend routine without a steep learning curve, and that actually pays for itself in the meals you'll serve. Most of the time the big-ticket options feel like they're built for a professional pitmaster, while the cheap models leave you worrying about temperature spikes and constant ash cleanup. That hesitation is real. Spending a few $100s on a piece of equipment that ends up collecting dust is the last thing you need. If you're ready for a middle ground that promises reliable smoke without turning your backyard into a lab, keep listening. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's put the Broil King Regal 500 pellet grill into the broader context of pellet grilling. Pellet grills sit at the intersection of smokers, ovens, and classic charcoal grills. They use wood pellets fed by an auger, a thermostat, and a fan to maintain a set temperature, which means you can walk away for a couple of hours and trust the unit to hold a steady 225F for a brisk brisket or crank up to 500F for a quick steak sear. The real question is whether a particular model makes that promise feel effortless or adds a layer of tech that feels more like a nuisance than a help. The Regal 500 markets itself as total performance, and the first thing you notice is the digital control panel. Unlike the old-school knobs that require you to guess and adjust, this grill gives you a temperature readout, a timer, and a simple start button. In practice, that means you can set the grill to 275F for a pork shoulder, walk the dog, and return to a grill that's already holding temperature. The Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity are built into the same panel, letting you peek at the temperature from your phone. For anyone who already uses a smart home ecosystem, that can be a genuine convenience. Imagine checking the grill while you're loading the dishwasher. That connectivity, however, comes with a hidden trade-off. The app isn't as polished as the big brands, and occasional Bluetooth dropouts have been reported on forums for other Broil King models. If your Wi-Fi is spotty in the backyard, you might find yourself staring at a blank screen and having to manually intervene. For most casual grillers, this isn't a deal-breaker, but it does mean you should be comfortable with a little troubleshooting or be okay with falling back to the manual controls. One of the most practical strengths is the 22-pound pellet hopper. That size lets you run a low and slow cook for up to 12 hours without refilling, which is a huge time saver if you're tackling a big turkey or a full rack of ribs. I've tried a similar hopper on a different brand, and the constant refilling was a rhythm breaker. Every 23 hours you'd have to pause, dump out ash, and add more pellets. With the Regal 500, you can load the hopper once, set the temperature, and let it run. The hopper's location at the rear also keeps the pellet feed out of the cooking chamber, reducing the chance of ash clogging the auger. Cleaning is another area where the Regal 500 tries to earn points. The ash drawer slides out like a tray, and the drip pan is removable, so you can dump the mess without scrubbing the interior. That said, the grill's stainless steel interior still accumulates grease over time, and because the unit is fairly heavy, around 200 pounds, you'll need a sturdy surface and a clear path to move it for a deep clean. If you live in a small patio or apartment balcony, the footprint might feel imposing. Now, who should actually consider buying this grill? If you're a weekend chef who enjoys smoking a brisket, pulling pork, or doing a set-it-and-forget-it pizza night, the Regal 500 hits a sweet spot. The digital controls and large hopper make those long cooks feel almost hands-free. The Wi-Fi feature is a bonus if you already track your recipes on an app, and the 5-year warranty on the grill body gives peace of mind for the first few seasons. It's also a solid choice if you already own a collection of wood pellets and want to experiment with different wood flavors without buying a whole new system each time. On the flip side, if you only fire up the grill a few times a year for quick burgers or hot dogs, the upfront cost and the size might feel excessive. The same applies to anyone who prefers the tactile control of a charcoal grill. The digital panel can feel like a barrier rather than a benefit. Additionally, if you're very price sensitive, the Regal 500 sits in the mid to high range for pellet grills, and there are cheaper units that get the basic job done, albeit without the extra hopper capacity and connectivity. Let's talk about the practical weaknesses that become apparent after the first few uses. The temperature swing can be a little wider than advertised when you're cooking at the lower end of the range, say 180F for a delicate fish. Some